Thank you, Lore, and welcome everybody to PGL. We are minutes away from having our playoffs bracket backstage. League official are conducting the draw as we speak. The teams are going to be divided into 4 pools based on their final standings in the regular season. Fnatic and KC finishing at the top of the standings are going to be in Pool 1. G2 and MKOI are in Pool 2. Vitality and Giant X will be in Pool 3, and BDS and Team Heretics are going to be in Pool 4. The 2 teams in each pool are randomly drawn into Group A or Group B, and from there on, Fnatic or KC, considering they're in Pool 1, are going to have 5 minutes to choose their opponents from Pool 3 or 4 teams within their group. We're going to be sharing the results with you guys as soon as they're ready, but until then, I'm joined with Razork, Oscarinin, and GB. Guys, 8-1 end to regular split. You're smiling, so I'm going to start with you. Sorry. You must be so happy right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think we are playing pretty clean, which is pretty good. I think we are not that used to it. So yeah, it feels nice that we can end the games cleanly.
I do want to say, and it's not related to gameplay at all, Razork, didn't you grief one of the draws last time?
I did, yeah, but it wasn't my fault. It was like my team's fault. Like they told me to pick a team that I was not able to pick. So I had to go back to my team and tell them, guys, what are you doing? Like,
okay, so do you know what team you're picking tonight? Well,
No,
you're
I
not
have no
picking them,
idea.
but your team is, you don't know. Okay, cool. We're
Do you
going
have
to find
a
out later.
preference then for a team that you want to be going up against?
no, I really don't care.
It's a good
actually.
thing not to say it.
What about MKOI? Because the only loss that you guys have was that first game against MKOI. Wouldn't it be so nice to play against them?
I think there are weaker teams than MKOI, so probably not the best choice
Fair.
to pick them. It's the only team that we lost against them, so it wouldn't be
it makes
too
sense
smart.
for sure.
I gotta stay honest, right? I would love to talk a little bit about this game that we've just seen, because this was, again, 8-1, dominant performance the entire split. But this game was insane, Oscar. Like, wow.
I mean, I think it was pretty chill. Like, I think early game was not great with the swap. I'm not having a lot of fun in this meta, but well, it is what it is.
Surprise!
But yeah, I think after early game, when the map was more controlled and stable, I think we just ran over them, kinda. Like, we were just winning every fight, and I don't know, it felt really easy to play. I think we were also playing together and as a team, so it felt really good.
How has that been for you guys, whether it's a top jungle synergy or the synergy as a 5-man team? Because last year, when we were talking about Fnatic, it was the team that almost had it, the team that was so close to winning, yet so far, the team that sometimes we can see disjointed on the server, but this feels like the Fnatic that we were promised.
I mean, we are playing good, but I don't want to get too hyped or be like, oh, we are the favorites to win or whatever. I feel like there is a lot of work we have to do still. And in scrims, for example, I think this week we had terrible scrims. And I think it's something that we really need to like improve, because we are a bit inconsistent in the practice area. So I think I don't want to be like negative or anything. I'm pretty happy that we ended first and we are 8-1, but I think this doesn't really matter if you don't like do good in playoffs. So
No,
I'm just looking forward to get ready for these playoffs, and it's gonna be fearless, it's gonna be fun. So pretty excited about that.
I think that's completely fair. And I think like even some Fnatic fans potentially still, I mean, not necessarily trust issues, but being a Fnatic fan can at times be a bit difficult with the heart. I was going to say, like, last year was a roller coaster. Going into this winter now, it's a new roster. But you specifically, both of you, what learnings have you taken from last year going into then this playoffs now, where it's looking so good, where there's so much hype around you? And I know you're saying you're not letting it affect you, but still, what did last year really teach you about now, for example?
Well, I mean, last year, one thing I got really good at is handling losses finals. So that's something that happened a lot of times.
Hopefully that's not your main learning if you're in the final again.
No, it's not, because I'm not going to lose again.
Right.
There we go, that's the attitude.
That's the good one.
Yeah.
Oscar?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are way better at least stopping the snowball of inting in general. Chain inting in scrims or the officials, I think we manage that way better. And the emotions, I think as a team, we are trying to not let things snowball from the start. So yeah, I think that's the best thing we are doing right now from last year.
Do you think that's a combination of the fact that you've had some terrible losses last year and you had to push through that mentally? Or is it more that you have new faces on this roster, someone like Mickey who could potentially also be a voice of guidance when things get maybe a little bit heated in the moment?
I think it can be a little bit of both. I feel like having new faces and new players also it's good. But I feel like myself and Humanity and Oscar, we are more mature and way better understanding the mid game. I feel like we lost an entire finals because we did through many leads because of mid game. So we are trying to work on that so it doesn't repeat again.
Well, on the topic of Mickey X, he will also be the one who gets Kia Player of the Game. So, Oscar, I would love to hear your input as a top laner who's like completely on the opposite side of the map, and the fact that we're continuously looking at lane swaps. How has it been for you to have someone like Mickey on the team?
I mean, I feel like it's really easy to play with Mickey because he kind of always knows what I need in the map. Like on lane swaps, he just knows when he has to cover me, when he needs to be in the wave. So yeah, it's just really easy to play with him. Like sometimes I don't even need to tell him. Or maybe I want a ward somewhere and it's already there. So yeah, it's just really easy to play with him. Like I just feel like I don't have to do anything, you know? I just sit and play.
Easy.
I mean, it helps when he's on your team now as well for the finals coming forward as well. That's going to be a bit.
Yeah,
is he the one who's introduced?
To have Mickey.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Is he the one who's introduced fountain dives as well now? Because I think it's been a while since I've seen Fnatic fountain diving enemies.
I did call that.
That was you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's still your influence.
I mean, I got pushed out by Poppy R, so I wanted to get KDA because they were killing them without me. And then I was like, I can put plants, and the plants tank the tower, and we kill. She bought Sonya's,
yeah,
and
Sonya's
I'm not dying for that. Sorry, Mickey.
Yeah. You know what? At least it was against SK, and you know you were locked in first, and they were locked in last. So it necessarily not the biggest change, if any, really, on the standings. Which is ironic because SK last summer was the team who finished first during regular season, besides G2. So I think a lot of questions then as well in terms of how they're going to be moving forward with the next split coming up, with being out of playoffs. It would be a difficult spot to be into.
Yeah, but I think in general, like, if there's anything the best of ones have taught us, it's that it's not that they don't mean anything, but it's that they're not really a good indicator for how a good team is, especially when you move into playoffs. I'm sure you guys feel like that as well. You guys have scrim knowledge and all the other things. Going into this playoffs, who do you think is the biggest opponents?
In my opinion, this is top 4 is the top 4 that is in the standings.
Okay,
Koi, us, G2, and Casey. Yeah, I think this gonna be the top 4 in my opinion.
And your own mental.
Huh?
And your own mental.
Yeah.
Biggest opponent.
True.
Gotta keep it in check. But we now have the results of the draw. And here's your first look at the Winter Split Playoffs bracket. In round 1, Group A Fnatic is gonna be playing against Heretics, leaving G2 to face off against Giant X. Group B, KC chose to play against Vitality, leaving MKOI to face off against BDF. The order of play is not yet finalized, but I think it would be great to have your insights on going up against Heretics. I'd love to start with you, Razork. You happy with that pick? You want to go against them? You ready?
I mean, when we face them, we kind of cook them mega hard, not gonna lie. I think they were really bad before in week 1 when we played them, but I think they have gotten a little bit better. I think we're gonna win, not gonna lie. But I think it's not going to be as easy as it was the first time we played them. And yeah, all I have to say is good luck to FLICKR, to Maitaton.
Oh, poor FLICKR today is catching strays, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think also that they are not a really strong team. I think if we just have a chill early game and we just play mid game, we probably win. Like, I don't think they're going to be a hard opponent. So yeah, I think we're going to be fine.
Do you think 1 week of prepping and scrimming and getting in there and trying to cook something for Fearless Draft and maybe not overcook could be enough for any of these teams, really? Because like you're looking at G2, GX. I think GX, from what we've seen, they started off really well.
You know what the problem is with that? Like, the good teams was having great scrims, they'll build up really good mentality, they'll have a good boost coming into playoffs. But when it starts going wrong, and if a team's already having issues, like you're going to also have the opposite effect, where going into playoffs, suddenly you have an extremely bad... Have you guys tried this before?
Yeah, we did. We did. It happened to us, for sure.
But there you go. So I think it really does depend. It is what you make of it. It comes down to your staff. It comes down to how well the player practices. But, I mean, my opinion is still with Team of Redix that it is a very development roster with so many different players coming from different systems and 3 rookies as well. So I think in general, it's a tough matchup, but hey, you learn from your losses, and this is going to be a good lesson for them.
Yeah, but I think Heretics as well, from the games that we have seen, these individual laners and even individual players in their own rights have had moments where they have been able to make games a little bit more difficult. So I'm looking forward to see how that's going to go. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion as well on MKOI BDS, KC Vitality, G2GX. Oscar, I'm going to let you pick one of the 3, and you can give us your prediction for that or how you think it's going to play out. Maybe you want to go for MKOI, you know, the Spanish.
Yeah, I think the most interesting for me is probably MKOI BDS. Because I think BDS, the last games, they were looking way better than in the first weeks. I think first weeks they were looking a bit shaky, not really playing that well mid-game, early game. They were not snowballing leads. But I think now they are playing really solid. They were looking really good. So I think in playoffs they're going to be pretty decent. Also KOI, I think last games they were not looking as good. But I think they are a really strong team anyway. So it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. I think if KOI plays their style aggressive and as always they did, it's going to be for sure super fun to see.
What about KC? Because KC is going up against Vitality, and you guys had a game against KC, and it was #1 and #2 seed, and I think a lot of people, probably definitely everybody, expected it to be a very, very close matchup, but it wasn't what we got.
That was a stomp.
I was trying to be nice for once.
I mean, that was not what I expected. That was first place against second place. I mean, you know, that was
yeah,
crazy.
so from your respectful stomp against KC, what do you think their biggest issues were in that game?
Well, I think we had a good draft. I think they also had a pretty decent draft. So it was just, we just got a good early game. And after that Void fights, I feel like the game is just over. Like when you get ace at minute 10, like 4-4, 5-4-1 is just over in this meta where you can snowball really, really fast. And yeah, that's my thought on the game. I don't think it was like, it doesn't give a lot of info because this is a best of 1 when one team stomps the early game. So it's good by us because we ended up closing the game very clean. Actually, not that clean, but we could have...
For Fnatic, it's clean.
Yeah, we could have done much more mistakes. We're used to doing them. But yeah, I think it's the best of 1. I think the matchup against Vitality, actually Vitality has surprised me a little bit. I feel like they were playing much better and they were getting good leads and good early games. Then just Hilisan is doing some things, and then
as Hilisan does,
some things are happening in the map that they're not optimal, and then maybe they throw. But I think that it can be actually a very close series, KC Vitality.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Any sleeper teams you think, GB, that could really utilize the next week to just pop off?
No, I think Vitality can use that to really pop off from a potential of improving. But I'm actually worried about MKOI because, I mean, they lost the team of Redix. I think they're very uncertain in some of the games this week. I mean, they won today. But yeah, still, I think they are going to be one of those teams where this extra week of practice is really going to be doing them good.
Well, we now also have our confirmed upper round 1 game order. So on February the 15th, Fnatic is going to be going up against Heretic, and then we have G2 going up against GX. So you guys get to play the first Fearless Draft. You know,
nice.
All eyes on you. That's it. The LEC returns for our Winter Splits playoffs on February the 15th. So after Valentine's Day, I know nobody actually knows it because probably nobody asked you out. But that's okay. The day after, we can meet. We'll look at some League of Legends. We're taking a break next week. Get some rest, touch some grass, maybe get a Valentine's, get ready for Fearless Draft. We'll see you back then. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Get it, mama.
Why is this healing? Damage. Why are they just continuing to fish? Why is he getting a plus 27 every second? What is happening? They have people behind them, okay?
Sion can look TP. Sion can look TP right now.
Sion TP.
Perk is dead.
Okay, Lena no E.
They are pushing. They are trolling here.
Look side.
They are trolling.
Look at side.
MF no flash.
Look, give me the attack.
No.
wants to go. He wants to go.
It's fine, it's fine.
He's dead.
Nice, nice. Go. He flashed.
He can't do it. No one can drive the bus this good. Oh, he can drive the bus this good. Okay, well, that was actually pretty terrible. Oh, that was awful. That was the coolest play I've ever seen right up until it was objectively inting, and then it was inting.
Yeah, get up. I'm waiting you and Kana. Get up. Kana, look behind you. They wait.
I'm coming. I'm behind. I'm behind. I'm behind. I can heal you if you come to me. Yes, flash is good. Yes, flash.
We win the fight, we win the fight.
I won.
Chase. Damn, them. Oh my god, I'm
Just one more charge. It goes in. Oh, the shot flush away. Now Caps has him in his way. It's Camilo Charm. At max range, the kiss of death from Caps.
No, Q2, guys. 1 second. Okay. Flash. I can stone soon.
nice, huge.
Okay, guess what? I can take. I'm gonna take. Nice. That's enough. I think. No, it's not. We can play. We don't have TP.
Guys,
Be in red fight.
I go for it, okay?
Good luck. All right.
Thank you.
The perfect teammate! They take